How long you think it was gonna take before we got here? Now you gotta prove yourself all over again. Come on.
Ain't nobody coming, I've been gunning from 100 yards, trying to hit my mark, missing every time. This'll be the start of the picture perfect. Watch you.
All right, Charles, the old man and me getting off. We didn't go live last time around, so now we're live, and we start with a question from Stuart. We start with a question from Start. We did this already somewhere, Charles.
Yeah.
I think this is the Groundhog Day, but in any case, yesterday you hit a nice double. You had both of your picks, and I'm on this streak of not hitting pick fours because the very next horse in my sequence beats me. And I was telling Charles before we get started, and what I thought I was telling you as well, is that if I had known Paco was going to ride instead of Sophia, I would have gone with that 4-horse. Nonetheless, hopefully today we can beat that curse. Stuart likes the 5 in the 9th race, sees it as a tough horse. We will get to our picks. We don't necessarily have a pick 5. Charles might. I don't today. All right, Charles, real quickly, Sean and Jamie, otherwise known as Shamey, will return tonight. 8 p.m. Eastern, 4-horse center with Renee Mills. Make sure you turn in for that, because this is a new person that you may not have met. If you got any questions, again, hit the subscribe button, follow us, get that bell, all that kind of good stuff. And today's free track over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet is Belterra. You'll find that down in the description below. Kindly click on that. Luck of the Cat is the first pick of the day. It is a best bet as well. All right, Charles, I got us a little bit behind, screwing up because I'm an old man. Race 1, what's going on?
Well, race 1, we have a 6.5 furlongs. Claiming price $7,500. Non-winners a 2 lifetime. Purse is $21,000. This course is for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward.
All right, so 6.5 furlongs. We like to discuss the type of horse that normally gets the job done, otherwise known, or AKA, profile of a winner. At 6.5 furlongs, you're looking for early speed. 31% of the time, they get to the lead, and they do not give it up. The rail is fair, so Amalfi Lady could get a good ride there. 2 and 3, they get a little bit of bonus. 4 through 7, a little bit tougher times out there as they get penalized, and 8 and out is fair. Charles, today we can start off the show with our simulations. 1,000 simulations using speed figures to determine how often that horse scores the maximum speed figure, to determine fair odds based upon those wins, looking for some value. We also use early pace numbers, 1,000 simulations again, to see what percent chance a horse has to get the lead at the quarter-mile marker, and speed was definitely in play yesterday at Parx, Charles. And finally, based upon our projected early pace, which horses over here in our exclusive C-Zone are likely to get a trip that fits very well with their best performances. The higher the score, the better. Charles, what is the data for the opener telling you?
Yeah, look at that. Number 7, 72% chance of having that lead at the quarter pole. And if you had that kind of chance yesterday, they were winners. So there you have it.
They were definitely chicken dinner yesterday, Charles.
Yes, and look at that C-Zone on that horse. Same horse, too. I mean, the 7 is just pretty good. Let's look at simulation odds now. The 2 is slightly over even money. Look at that, 15-1 morning line.
Holy shnikes, Batman.
I know. Holy bank. Okay, so, and then the 3 is just under 2-1, and we have 5-1 morning line. That's nice. And so those are our 2 overlays right there in this race.
Nice overlays. And you already mentioned the 7 horse catching that strong C-Zone score. The 5 and the 4 not too far behind. Charles could have a C-Zone trifecta. We've seen plenty of those hit. We also do pace handicap because we know a lot of folks like that. And if you look at this race shape, Charles, what do you see? You see 2 horses in the front, and then you see, what is that? 6 horses in the back.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of shape usually spells trouble for the closers, because the horses with a little bit of early speed can get to the lead, maybe not run some crazy fraction. So if the 1 or the 7 gets off to the front, and it sure looks like the 7 has a 5-point advantage over everybody else, just like we saw in the simulations. 5-star Fran going to be on the front probably, Charles. The 4 and the 2 are your closers. That'll be the closest behind. The 1 horse, Amalfi Lady, maybe a little bit of fake early speed. Late speed belongs to the 6 horse, Total Discretion, along with the 3, Pop the Champagne, and Ruby Dooby Doo. That's Charles's dog's name after Scooby-Doo, I suppose. They have a pretty good edge over everybody else. And the top total pace horse is that 2 horse, Ruby Dooby Doo, Pop the Champagne, and 5-star Fran, along with Total Discretion. That quartet scores 10 points better than the next 4. So the 2, 3, 7, and 6, Charles, that might be where you find your winner. What do you say?
Yeah, and I think it's right there. I think the 7 is going to be very hard to beat here, especially if he gets the lead by herself. She sees herself by herself. It's over. You might as well just sit down and enjoy.
Might as well put a bow on it. Put it
might
under
as well. So at the quarter pole, if she's all by herself, people just go on and have a drink, go to the restroom, do whatever you need to do to pick up your money after that.
I don't like you doing that, Charles, because you just jinxed.
I did not. I said if she's by herself at the quarter pole.
Yeah. Jinx her. You're the moosher, baby.
And, look at her speed figures too of late. They're getting better every time she runs. So the 6 horse is my second choice. That one will be flying at the end. Needs to get a little closer in the beginning. So ran third last time out, drops in class. The 5 is my third choice here. She won last time out, but she's one of those closers, and the trainer gets 14% when they put them from a maiden win to meeting winners. And then the 4 is my final pick here. Got some tactical speed, going to have to show a little bit more to keep up. Trainer gets 13% with 46 plus days, but like I said, good luck trying to catch that 7.
Good luck. And you got a daily double for $2 to get cracking here.
7, 8.
Ice cold, huh?
That's it.
All right. 7, 8 for Charles. Looking at JT Brew, our good friend, race number 1, 30 to win, place and show on Amalfi Lady. Digging that one right there. $10 exacta box. 1, 3, 6. And then to try 1, 3, 1, 3 all like that. Double 1, 3 with the 2, 8. Pick 3, 1, 3, 6, 2, 8, 2, 6. Screenshot that, folks. You got a couple of minutes before race number 1. JT got off to a good double yesterday. Put $100 in his pocket right off the get-go. So let's see if he can have a repeat performance today. I like the 7 horse too, Charles, although you just jinxed. 5-star Fran. Saw a speed hold yesterday. Going to be the pace setter in all likelihood. Did run the top last race speed figure with a little bit better late fractions. I like a horse that gets to the front and showing more late stamina. That's a sign he might be fit. Total Discretion, the 6 horse gets the second call for me. The last race was better than the finish. She ran better fractions at 7 furlongs than she did at 6 furlongs. So cutting back to 6.5 furlongs could be the answer. Pop the champagne, row third up after a layoff here. Charles, last time out, all the race internals, the early pace, mid pace, late pace numbers were better from the previous start. And this horse at the distance 2 times out with a couple of seconds in there. So maybe I should have moved that one up to the 6 horses spot. And then finally that Ruby Doobie Doo. Well, you might as well go with that 15 to 1 morning line that has that big simulation difference in there. Some great value perhaps. And then also was the top total pace horse. So kind of wondering why that one's 15 to 1, Charles. 6-7 double over to 6-8 for me in the opener at Parx, which looks like it's about to get cracking in just
they're gone.
Here. Oh, they're gone already? All right.
Yep.
Well, Charles, I didn't
The
show
7's
off.
out in front by about a length and a half.
So you can go to the bathroom, get a drink, do whatever you need to do because the 7 at 7 to 2 is on the lead. It looks like that 4 horse is in second place right now. Road to Dreams. So the 2 horses that our simulation said would be up front are indeed up front. The 1 horse, unfortunately, Amalfi Lady is going to back up a little bit now. 7 horse continues to hold the lead. Jockey's looking between his legs. I don't know if he's going to ask for more or he wants to get out of the way, if he's tiring or not. The 6 horse, which is your 3 to 2 favorite, is 46-4. I don't know why he ran so fast in that second quarter.
Me
Charles.
either.
Makes no sense to me. So this 4 horse is going to roll right on by. The question is the 6 or the 3 going to get there for second? Looks to me like the 3 horse is running the best, but the 4 horse is going to get the job done. Maybe. Yep. It's going to go 4, 3, 6, 5. 4, 3, 6, 5, Charles. And you jinxed us, my man.
No, that was a terrible ride. I'll flat out just say it. That was a terrible ride.
So who was on the 7 horse? Silvestre Gonzalez.
Oh,
so you're criticizing Silvestre there?
Oh yeah. I mean, you had an easy lead. You gear him down a little bit. You had over a length and a half lead. It was just
Jonas, we can't play the race, unfortunately, my friend. If you go over to parx.com, or sometimes you look, you might find a live stream on there, right? Fantastic show. Thank you, Richard. We appreciate that. By the way, you have the best first name anybody could have. There's no question about that. Horseshoe Indy today, race 6, the 2, Mooncat. Louisiana Downs, race 7, the 1 horse, Declare War. Those are your top turf plays for the day. And JT is a turf monster, right?
But are they off the turf here at Parx today?
Yeah, those were different tracks, though.
Yeah. Okay.
That was at Horseshoe Indy today for race
at Horseshoe. Okay.
Yeah, and at Louisiana Downs, race number 7. Again, screenshot that in there for sure. And Plan B at Parx, it's early. Oh, yeah, it's only the first race. We'll get it together, as we always do. Want to say thanks to Philip Perkins and Richard De La Torre for the thumbs up on Facebook. Unfortunately, we can't see who gives us love on YouTube, but we do know this. We're 3 subscribers away from 4,000. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button now. Get us over the 4,000 mark. We would greatly appreciate that. And Charles, let's get off the losing side of things. And I told you jinxed that horse. Don't you ever do that again, my man. Or I will throw you off this YouTube. All right.
No.
What's going on in race number 2? Another 6.5 furlong.
6.5 again. We got a 12.5 claimer purse is 24,000. This is for 3-year-olds or 4-year-olds and upward. Why wouldn't they just say 3-year-olds and up? I don't know.
I don't know either, but there must be a reason for it.
They have never won 3 races. No, they just. I think.
You think the person who writes that needs to justify their income?
Maybe.
So they have to add another word in there. Again, with 6.5 furlongs, early speed is typically the way. We saw speed hold up on that race right there. 31% of the time they go wire to wire. The rail is fair. 2 to 3 bonus. 4 through 7 get penalized. Although the 4 did all right just now. 8 and out are fair. Again, Charles, we did our simulations for race number 2. Race number 1, the 4 horse did have a good shot to get to the lead. Charles was one of the strongest C-zone scores. Actually, number 3 in there. It was definitely playable off of that combination. So who looks playable off of a similar combination in race 2?
Well, the 8. The 8 has a 66% chance of getting that lead at the quarter pole. The C-zone is probably not the best in the world, but it's still okay. There's got a couple in there that are a little bit better. The 2 might push the 8 along a little bit, but I still think the 8's going to go out there and cruise. When it comes to simulation odds, we got the 8 even money and 4-1 odds. I will take 4-1 all day long on this horse.
Yeah, I would take 4-1 all day long too. I don't know that we'll get it. In race number 1, we saw that the 4 horse down here, he kind of scored low, but he did have that shot to get up on the lead. So interesting that he was a left arrow horse that made his way over there. Uh-oh. So for race number 2, we see again barbell shape in here. 1, 2, 6, and 8 want to be on the front. The 4, 7, and 9 want to close. So plenty of early speed. And here I would typically want the speed of the speed or something to sit right, maybe 3rd or 4th with some late legs. The speed of the speed, well, the 8 and the 6, those 2 could duke it out. Hopefully they don't burn one another out as they head out of the gates early on. The 7 horse is that left arrow horse, maybe similar run that we just saw from the 4 horse, right off the pace with a little bit of late legs to bring the show home. The 1 horse, Mizzen Man, does have the most late speed, but wants to be on the lead when it wins. So kind of tough to tell what that horse will do. Total pace, that winner, if the race went according to total pace, would be the 6 horse, Lord Tread. Whoever that is. Tree Pete, that one, you say you get 4-1. Pretty competitive race, except for maybe the 4 IE. Everybody else is within a 12-point shot of each other. Charles, toss out the 4 or make it your first pick. You didn't. We both threw them out.
No, you have the same 2 picks. I think you went in there.
Yeah, you just copied again. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you just do it in your 4th pick, like whatever.
Dude.
Yeah. So look, I really like the 8 here. I think this horse has got the right tactical speed. He could find himself on the lead, like it's predicting for the quarter pole. But I also think the horse could sit off the 2 and just play the time and win the takeover. So it's going to be the 8 horse's race to lose. One last time out, Ness gets 18% when 90 plus days of rest. You got Pennington aboard, And then the 6 horse is my second choice here. This one does have some of that scary speed that doesn't really show up much there, but has more of a late kick. Ran even last time out. Ness gets 28% when he drops them in claiming prices. And then the 7 horse is my third choice. Ran even last time out. This horse has some tactical speed. Trainer gets 19% when you rest him up 46 plus days. And then the 2 drops in class, does have some speed, but he's going to have to probably try to win it from the front. I don't think this horse could rate very well. And he's back on the dirt.
So you got a bunch of bets going on here, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to start a pick 4. I'm singling that 8.
Ooh.
And then on the next race, the second leg, I'm taking my top 2. And the third and the fourth leg, I'm going with my top 4 picks. And then I'm doing an ice cold exacta here, 8 on top of the 6.
Melvin Torres, good to see you again, my friend. Hope all things are good with you. We will win today. Hopefully we can win again. JT Bruce says, hey, time for the rebound in race number 2. Win place with the 2. Whispering Springs going to put a 5-0 spot on that one, Charles. $10 exacta box. He likes the 8 with the 2 there. $10 double, 2-8, 2-6, pick 4, 2-8, 2-6, 6-9. I really like the way JT ends his pick 4s because I cannot tell you how many times I get to the end and lose that leg. And I got a feeling that's why he's decided to go all at the end of his pick 4s. Get through the first 3 and hope for the bomb in the end. Christopher D'Souza joining us today with the race number 2, the win, number 1 with the win as well with the Mizzen Man. Liking that strong C-zone with the 1-8-4. Trifecta box again, looking at a nice C-zone and early speed. So trifecta there. Charles, I'm like you. I'm going to start with the 8 track dropper. Been off since December. Has a couple of really nice workouts getting ready. Good shot to be up on the lead here. Lord Utrecht, Jamie Ness, Ruben Silvera, the dynamic duo of Ben Salem, Pennsylvania, taking a small class drop here and track switch from Delaware Park to Parx, where it's run 4 times. The win, a place, and a couple of shows. In spades, the 7 horse. Good size drop in the first race after a layoff. The workouts are coming back to work. And then finally, Por Supuesto. Por Supuesto. It's a tough call over the 1 horse, Mizzen Man, the one everybody likes but me, I guess. Does have better simulation odds than the 1 does. And I think a little bit more back class. I'm going to do a pick 4 too, Charles. I'm going to do 6-8 with the 2-3. I'm going to solo up the 1 in race number 4. A lot of my pick 4s today are going to be dependent on that guy coming home as your champ in that race with the 3, the 7, the 9, and the 10 to close it out for a hot dog pick 4 in race number 2. You ready to move forward to race number 3, Mr. Charles?
Yeah.
All right.
Race number 3.
Let's just do a little bit of work here, and then we can go on with race number 3. Hold on one second. Before we go to race number 3, pick 4 for Melvin. He likes the 6, 7, 8 with the, pick 6, 7, 8 with the
6.
Oof. Can you put some dashes
6,
in there
8,
for me?
6, and then 3, 7.
I don't think you can have that. 6, 7, 8.
Yeah. 3, and then 3, 5, 7, 10.
All right, with the 6. All right, with the 3, I get it. Okay, yeah,
6 is a single.
Okay, 6, 7, 8 with the 6, with the 3, 7, with the 3, 5, 7, 10. Okay, perfect. We got that one. All right, Charles. Now let's do our work and move off to race number 3.
Okay, race number 3.
This one is what?
This one's 6 furlongs. Claiming price of $5,000. Non-winners of 2 in a year. Purse is $18,000. This is for fillies and mares. 3-year-olds and upward.
Okay, but now this time they didn't put the 4-year-olds in up in there.
I know.
So there must be a reason why they put 4 years old and up in the other ones and not in this one.
I'm telling you, I know how to read these conditions.
You know how to read? Well, congratulations.
I can read the conditions, and I want to tell you something.
Went to school in Kentucky, and he can read. You're 1 in a million.
Hey, I can read better than that. Which I've never won 2 races since February 28th. There's our February. Now we're going to be on February instead of May.
Yeah, no, I just joke. I love Kentucky, the bluegrass state, right? Wonderful place. So 6 furlongs. We haven't seen that yet for the for opening to our. I shouldn't crack jokes anywhere. I live in Chicago, right? This is the laughing stock of the world. 6 furlongs. Tactical speed does well. 37% of the time, though, you get to the front and you win. Post positions 1 through 7, they play fair. 8 and out, get a little bit of a bonus, Charles. So it looks like you want some speed. If you're on the outside, all the better. But the outside speed scratched and leaves that work to the 2.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. But I still think the 2 is going to get the lead with 48% chance. It's probably even better now with the 7 gone. Simulation odds, though, we have the 1, 2, just slightly over 2-1. Morning line 6-1. The 2 itself, look at that. The 2's not bad. Almost 2-1. We got 5-1 morning line. So we got a couple of little overlays. Nothing huge, but they're little.
A little bit to work on there. So in the third race shape again, this one's pretty even out. Got a couple of Sesame Street horses in here that don't look like the others. With the 3 and the 8 as your lone EP, so can pilot or co-pilot. The P horses, they want to co-pilot. With the 1 and 2, they want to be on the lead. They're pilot types, so either one of them are going to have the lead. Indeed, the 2-horse Liviosa should be your pace setter, although we'll have some company from the EP type. That 1-horse Knockout Kid, maybe not the happiest getting the lead up in there. Late speed wise, it does look like we have one that stands out above the rest, and Isabella Smile for the closers. 13 points better than the next closest horse. It is about 15 lengths off at the start. 15 points. So that's roughly 3 lengths, but can make up close to 3 lengths with that late pace advantage. So not necessarily one that you got to run away from. Christopher D'Souza, I know you like those closers. This one will be running like a Mack truck down hills without brakes at the end. It also scores out as your top total pace horse in front of that 1 horse. I wonder if that 1 horse might be a little bit unhappy if it doesn't get the lead. Competitive race again, except for that lone EP. A little bit of caveat though. You get a lone EP, sometimes you can toss out everything else because you should get a pretty good race trip in there, Charles, nonetheless. What do you say?
Well, I like the 3 here. And why I like the 3 is I think this one could sit just right off the leader or could be on the lead. It's one of those scary horses that has some scary speed. One last time out, trainer gets 13%, 46 plus days of rest. Paco's aboard, very dangerous.
Yeah, that dude wins every race, doesn't he?
He seems like he does. The 6 horse is my second choice here. Closer, like we just finished talking, drops in class. Ran second last time out, so this horse is on his game. And then the 4 is my third choice. Ran even the last 2 times out. Drops in class. I believe so far Sophia is riding today, so we get that 5 pounds off. So
thankfully she's fine off the fall yesterday. Yep.
Well, I heard that everything was fine. It was just a couple of bruises, and that was about it. And that's thank God, because that any spill could be a bad spill. And then the 2 horse is my final pick. This horse does have some speed, as we see here, but my question is, can he hang on? Drops in class, ran even last time, so let's see.
Christopher D'Souza liking the 4 horse here to win. Boca Royalty with an exacta with the 6 Isabel Smile. And then the 4-6-3, I knew you would like that strong closer in there, Christopher. As far as I am concerned, I like the 2 horse. To get up on the lead there, Charles, never give it up. And last time out, not only did this horse get to the front, but it ran better fractions last time out. That's one of my favorite handicapping angles. 3 Sizzling Roma, your top choice. At this point, as I mentioned, how do you bet against Paco at Parx? Guy, you put him on a horse, you can put him on a Shetland pony and he might beat him. The number 6, Isabella Smile, decent class drop after running better early pace numbers through the first half mile. Although that number was at Penn, I'm not the biggest fan of horses coming in from Penn, though. This one has some experience at Parx too. Right distance for this horse, 19 times out, 4 wins, 2 seconds, and 4 thirds. No other distance compares. And then the Knockout Kid, tough choice for me over the 7 horse in there. Well, the 7 horse is out, so it's no longer a tough choice. The horse does have a decent workout after being claimed. Trainer Roberto Perez wins at 18% of the time off the claim. And today, going to catch a 7-pound weight break with a horse that does have a little bit of early speed. Trifecta 2-3-6 with the 2-3 with the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 for yours truly. Hopefully that one comes through in there for me, right? Let's see right here. Second pick. Let's see. We have Janet joining us. Does not die. Sorry about the typo in there. I didn't see a typo in there. Janet, is it? No say. All right, Melvin Torres, second pick. He likes the second pick for. Is that for today, for this upcoming race, or the second pick for starting in race number 4, Melvin?
I think it starts in this race, the third race, because they had another pick 4 in the
Did they? All right. So he likes the 3-7-5 with he likes the 3-7 with the 5-7-9-10 with the 2-4-6-8-9 and then singling the 3 at the end. It looks like.
Well, that starts in the 4th race, by the way. I thought it was the 3rd, but
4th race. Okay.
Yeah.
Charles B. Luis Rivera got mount on 4 race 3 guys today. So is he? Is he filling in for Sophia? Then is that what's going on there, Charles?
On the mount of the number 4.
Yeah, just look up on Equibase and see.
Okay, yeah, that's what it is then. Yeah.
Uh-huh. All right, that's so she is bumped up, apparently not on the track today. All right,
Yeah.
So in race number 3, we're done with that, right, Charles? We went through that. So now we're going to go off to race number 4, chronological order. Maybe one day we ought to just like randomly pick a race and go through it, see how that goes.
No, that'd be very confusing.
Race 4 was supposed to be on the turf. It's not, Charles. They're going to run a mile on the dirt instead. But what are they running for?
Yeah, they're running 1 mile now on the dirt, right? And this is allowance race for $25,000, purse of $35,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never started, for a claiming price of $25,000 or less, which have never won a race other than maiden claiming, or which have never won 4 races.
So yeah, we had a bunch of superfectas yesterday, but unfortunately, I don't really play them. Charles, do you play superfectas? Sometimes I do. Like
very rare.
Like if I'm having a bad day is when I'll play superfectas because you can do it for a dime. And
that's the same here.
Yeah, I'll play like for $3.60 or something like that. So race 4, 8, 4, 5, 8, and 10 out race 4 off the turf. Yes, indeed, 4, 5, 8, and 10. In race number 4. We'll have the scratches in just a minute. I don't have any data on a mile, so I can't really give you the profile of a winner. As you mentioned, 4, 5, 8, and 10, not going to run in this race, Charles, but we do have some running in this race, and it looks like the 3-horse, the semi-Bon Jovi horse, Wishing on a Prayer, is going to have the lead.
Yes, semi-Bon Jovi. Okay, 52% of getting that lead at the quarter pole. You know, probably so now because of the other horses being scratched, especially the 8 being scratched. But when it comes to simulation odds, we have the 1 just slightly over 3-1, and we have morning line of 4.5-1. Not bad.
Yeah, I think that's it after all the
scratches. That is it
right?
after the scratches.
Yeah, and then you got the 1 and the 6, the only one scoring out with any kind of season. The 2 horse right in there too. You know, funny about John Bon Jovi, I went to go see the Scorpions when I was like 17, 18 years old, really young kid at the Allentown Fairgrounds in Pennsylvania, in Allentown, obviously. John Bon Jovi was the opening act. Nobody knew who he was. He didn't have any of his band. He just came out. It was like one of his first shows ever. It was like 300 people in the place getting ready for the Scorpions. I'm standing like right on the stage. You could literally, shake his hand or whatever. And it's funny how 2 people that like in the same place in their lifetime over the course of their life, how their lives become so completely different. Anyway, enough about that. As far as the pace is concerned for race number 4, everybody's kind of bunched up in here, Charles. You got nobody that really wants to be on the lead. Somebody's going to have to take the lead, Charles. So according to that, it is the 3-horse, like we talked about in the simulation, has a little bit of an edge over 6, Collins Gray Lady, both of which are PC types. So they're comfortable perhaps on the lead. They should be able to do so because they are versatile for sure. They got a pretty good advantage over the next 2. So those 2 should be out in the front. We did see Speed Hold yesterday, saw Speed Hold in the first race today, but it doesn't. Our good friend Christopher D'Souza should really like Patty Cakes, the 1-horse, 10-point late pace over everybody else up in here, Charles, meaning if that one's only 2 lengths off of the lead coming out of the turn, it could be impossible to hold that one off. If you look at the late pace, early pace, total pace combination, 14 points better than the next closest horse, Charles. You get up over 10. That horse is a must-have in your picks. May not win, but a horse that should be very competitive, very hard to beat, Charles, and we both think it won't be.
Yeah, I think that he will be within that length, couple lengths of striking at the when they come to turn for home. So I think this horse is really the horse to play in now with all these scratches. This horse ran second last time out. It's got some of that tactical speed, but more on the closing side. Well, he was going back on turf, but he cuts back in distance today, though. And no, actually, you know what? Now he doesn't cut back in distance. He was a mile last time out. So scratch that. I'm sorry. Um, but the 6 is my second choice. And this horse has some of that scary speed, could take the lead. The trainer gets 17%, 46 plus days of rest. So look out for this horse. And then the 8 horse is my third choice. This horse ran even last time out. Trainer gets 20%, 46 plus days of rest. Fits with this group. And like we said, the 3 is my final choice. Does have speed. Second start after a layoff. Trainer gets 14% with that angle. So it does look like this horse fits with this group. My question is, what about the distance for that horse?
And you got a 50-cent try box with all your 4 picks.
Yep.
You come in the order of the highest odds to the lowest.
Well, right now, I mean, who knows how the odds are going to go, and I think they're going to really load up on the 1 a little bit. So I think the rest of them will have pretty decent odds. So that's how
they could load up on the 1 horse, as is Christopher D'Souza. He's got an ice cold. He's got a little Charles lingo in there with the ice cold 1-2 exacta box. I think the 1 horse with that 14-point total pace advantage, along with the Jamie Ness, Ruben Silvera combination, could be really difficult to beat. I mean, that's a pretty big edge. And most of the time, those horses, they may not win, like I said, but boy, you got to work hard to beat them. Number 9, Distorted View. If this one can run back to its March class, it could be the one that upsets the 1 horse for me. 3, Wishing on a Prayer. Could be the pace setter with all the scratches in here, Charles, like we see in the simulation. And one that has a good chance to be better in its second start after a layoff. And then 2, the second half of our good friend Christopher's ice cold exacta. Irie Empress, third after layoff. Your favorite handicapping angle, Charles, but somehow left them off your ticket. Gonna drop in class. So third off a layoff, dropping in class, and in between races has a bullet workout. Those are some things I really like as a combination. Just think it'll be hard to overcome that big total pace advantage. For me, pick 4. Gonna single up the 1, 3, 7, 9, 10 in the next leg, 3, 7, and then 3, 8. So if it can go 1, 3, 3, 3 all the way across the board, I'd be pleased. Although the 3 horses in the back end are probably going to be pretty heavy favorites in there, I think. All right, so we got 2 minutes to race number 2. So let's go fast, Charles, through race number 5. What's going on?
Race number 5 is 6.5 furlongs. The claiming price $7,500. Non-winners of 2 lifetime. This is for registered Pennsylvania bred fillies and mares, 3-year and upwards, of which never won 2 races.
And again, first 2 races are 6.5 furlongs. Speed usually does well. 31 out of 100 times they get to the lead. They don't give it up. The rail's fair. 2 and 3, a little bit of extra bonus in there. 4 through 7, they take a little juice off. 8 and out, they play right to par. Charles, again, early speed could play a big factor in race number 5. Who's got the juice when the gates open?
The 9 and basically the 7. Those 2 have the juice. I think they will go out there, but I also think they could probably tire each other out. But the 9 has the best chance, a 54% chance, and the 7's got 41%. And when it comes to simulation odds, we got the 1. It's just slightly under 10 to 1. We got 15 to 1 morning line, which is not too bad. And then we got that 3, basically almost even money, and we got 3 to 1 morning line. And then the 10 at just under 3 to 1, but we got 3.5 to 1 on the morning line with the 10.
You got a bunch of dark green here in the C zone. I think this is a wide open race. I think the C zone kind of portends to that as well. Let's look at the race 5 race shape in here. Here you have, again, a pretty interesting. You got the Sesame Street horse with Leaping for Candy in there, the lone P between the speed and the closers. And again, in this scenario, more often than not, I want one of these 2 or one of these 3 as horses to stand out for me. That early speed does go to the 7 and 9, 10 points better than everybody else. The concern, as you mentioned, Charles, is that they torch each other as they go through the opening quarter and opening and half. If they do, If you look at that late speed, it does belong to the 3-horse Old Head, 10 points better than everybody else, along with Back to the Future. Total Pace, the 3 and the 10 are your standouts. And here, Charles, I don't know that we're going to have time to go through our picks. We'll do that in just a second for race number 5. Right now, we'll rewind back to race number 3 and race number 2 and our picks because they're starting to load up those horses in there, Charles. In the meantime, again, remember that today, Belterra is the free track of the day at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Luck of the Cat, best bet in the opener at 5-2 morning lines. There's a link down in the description below. And, of course, tonight at 8 p.m., if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscriber button because we're only 3 away from 4,000, a little bit of a milestone. Hit the bell so when we go live tonight with Jamie and Sean, you will see Renee Miles as they walk through her career and where she's going to go from here. All right, Charles. And then, of course, you can follow us on all of our social sites, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and TikTok at Horse Race, the number 2 day, Horse Race 2 day. Make sure you take care of all that. All right, they're all lined up, Charles, for race number 2. Let's see what happens. Let me pop that back. Well, I'll leave that up in there.
Oh, the tube broke really bad.
The tube broke poorly?
Yeah.
Indeed, he did break poorly in there. Well,
now he guns up the rail.
Which I never understand. Do you?
No, I mean, I wish they would just let him get their feet, but
yeah. And then the 8-horse did break to the lead as we projected. The 6-horse, the 2-horse, he ran up there, but he ain't going to be able to hold that after rushing up.
I mean, he broke bad. He veered out, and then he veered back onto the rail. Yeah, it was a lot of things he did.
A lot of yeah. So at 22-2, he probably ran closer to a 21 or a 20 and a half or something like that.
I agree.
So the 8 maintains the lead to the 2 horses starting to fade. The 6-horse is in between the 2 and the 7. Asking a little bit out of him already. Looks to me like the 7-horse is going to go by the 6-horse, but I could be wrong in that respect because the 6-horse is still hanging in there. Again, 22-2, then 46-4. We didn't see 46-4 hang on last time out. So let's see if it hangs on this time around with that 8-horse at even money. Although that 6-horse that we said might struggle a little bit has run right by that 8-horse. So it looks like it's going to go 6. And then, yeah, it's going to be close. I think you're going to see that 1-horse sneak in there for third, maybe even for second, because he's running the best of all the horses. So it's going to go 6, 1, 8, 7. 6, 1, 8, and 7. So 6 is the second best. There's your 1-horse with the top C-zone score, 6-1. The 8 having that early speed, and then the 7 popping in there as fair odds. 6, 1, 8, and 7. So the
looks like the inner part of that track might be a little heavy, because that's 2 speed horses just literally die
on the inside, and not literally die, figuratively
no, not literally die, but yeah. And the jockey on this one was, just sitting still until the turn, and then started asking a lot. I mean,
And you saw the 2-horse, but that one rushed up there. You saw that one kind of fade off.
Yeah, we already knew that was going to happen. No matter what kind of track you're on, that's a lot of work being done. I think they did something. They saw yesterday that it was too fast and the speed was just cruising. I think
so they made some track adjustments in your view.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
All right, well, let's make our picks for race number 5. Before we do that, Melvin Torres says you can put the trophy on the mantle for the 6-horse Dune Jumper, really, at 20-1? Or no, I think that means in race number 2. All right, good. Yeah, I was going to say, well, you're taking some big shots there. Let's see. Plan C at Parx. Yeah, we'll get there. Again, Christopher D'Souza. Hold on a second. Paco, yeah, Paco's good every day, Ramon. You put Paco. I mean, I wonder if you just bet $2 to win across the board of Paco at Parx, what your ROI would be in there. It would be pretty interesting. So Christopher D'Souza in race number 5. Now we get to him. He likes the old head in here with the 379 exacta box. Charles, who do you got?
Well, I have the 5, and the 5 won last time out. The trainer gets 17% with 46 plus days of rest. Trainer also gets 10% when he takes a maiden win to meet the winners. So, I mean, I know Sophia's not riding this horse today. We got, I think it was Luis Rivera. So we'll see what that could do there. And then the 10 horse is my second choice. This one has speed. Ran second last time out. And the trainer gets 25% first after a claim. Now, that's really good percentage. And then the 3 horse is my third choice. This horse drops in class today. Trainer gets 20%, 46 plus days of rest. And this horse does have some of that tactical speed, so should sit a little close. The way this track's playing today, you want someone that sits probably like third or fourth that makes a good run. And then the 7 horse drops in class today, has some of that tactical speed also, and looks like it totally fits with this group.
I'm going to start, and I think this race, Charles, to me is pretty much wide open. I feel like I and that's why I put a bunch of horses in my second leg of the pick 4 in here and closed out with 4 horses in there. But I'm going to go with the 7 horse, Be Water, decent shot to be the pace setter. Going to drop in class again, kind of rewinding back to what we saw on the pace sheets, where you got the 2 horses that want to be up in front. I'm hoping that one of the 2 of them can get to the front and get to the lead. Back to a level where she was claimed. I think they might be trying to sell this horse, Charles. Same probably viewpoint on the 9 horse. This one's going down multiple classes. Does have some early speed as well, according to the simulation. Might be the fastest of the bunch. This horse was claimed at 12.5, now running for less than that at 7.5. But the person here is 21. So if the horse wins, gets claimed, it's going to be a profitable exchange for them. And I think the weight break should help the horse hold its speed a little bit longer. Back to the future. It's a horse that last time out ran better race internals and better fractions. Trainer Elliot Soto Martinez, first off the claim, done it 16 times this year, came home with the big check in 4 of them. And then finally, Old Head, the 3 horse, decent class drop in here. Probably the best horse in here, looking at the simulation odds, right? But weirdly, Jason Service, who is a pretty good trainer at Parx, done pretty well. And Frankie Pennington, another. I think he's actually leading in win percentage in there. They've teamed up 23 times, Charles. You know how many wins they have between them?
No, how many do they have?
Goose egg, baby, which I find to be really weird. But maybe they're just not a good combination together. I don't know. Maybe Frankie's not listening to the riding instructions. Tough to tell. I'm going to go with a 50-cent trifecta, 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 3, 5, 7, 9, 10. Or maybe he is listening to the trainer instructions. One of the 2 is going wrong there. Off to race number 6, we venture in the 6th race of a 10-race card. Charles, maiden claiming 10 grand.
Oh, man, we got the maiden 10 grand claiming purse for 20,000 for 3-year-olds and upward. Simple. That's it.
Pretty easy. No 4-year-old just to confuse you in there at all, Charles. Yeah. 6 furlongs does favor tactical speed. About 37% of the time they go wire to wire. Post positions 1 through 7, they play fair-ish. But you get a little bit of extra juice if you go 8 and out. So some early speed in race number 6, Charles, preferably on the outside. And a couple of horses with the scratches probably going to be main players early on.
Yeah, we got the 4 horse, a 21% chance of getting the lead at the quarter pole. I mean, you got a couple other horses here that's got some speed, but remember these are all maidens, so sometimes they're trying to figure it out. I mean, you could have a horse that basically ran 10th all the way around. Next time it come out, go wire to wire. It's just they figure things out. But I think the 7 might push this horse a little bit, the 4 horse a little bit. But when it comes to simulation odds, the 3 horse is just slightly under 3 to 1. We got 8 to 1 morning line, which is pretty nice. We have the 4 horse at 2 to 1. Morning line is 4.5 to 1. And that is it when it comes to simulation odds and overlays.
As far as the C-zone is concerned, Stand United might be a good one to add into your exacta trifectas. We just saw that 1 horse with the strongest C-zone come in for second. And with that 1 horse combined with the 6 horse, that exacta in race number 2, at one paid 6-1, $96.20 for a couple of bucks. Not bad. If you put the 6-1-8, so the 2 favorites with the high C-zone score together in the trifecta box, you got $77.75 for 50 cents. Not bad at all. I like in so you just went through there. So now we're going to go through the pace setup for race number 6. It's a pretty balanced race. The 2-horse ET's Demon Fire, that one's going to make its first start, so you don't really know how it's going to contribute. The 3 horses on the outside, the 7, the 8, and the 9. So far, they get the NC. They have not been within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish wire, at least not yet, or in the last 10 races. Outside of that, pretty balanced. You do have that Sesame Street horse. I can't think of a better name to call it because it's unlike all the others. In Respirator, the 4-horse, the 6 and the 12, they want to be close to the front. The 3 and the 5, they want to close. So looking at the early speed, you do find the 6 and the 12 should be out there with the 6 pulling the cart, though, Charles. 4 points better than the 12 horse. So expect the 6 to get on the lead. The 4 horse, the Lone Piece, should be exactly where it wants to be, sitting behind these 2. Does it have enough late legs to get by him? Indeed, it does up in there, Charles. Although Jules Bay is the Christopher D'Souza horse with the 6-point late pace advantage over everybody else. It might be a little too far off the pace early wise to use that late legs to get there. But hell, you got 77, 77. That has to mean something, Charles, right? That's a jackpot.
Yeah, that's all 7s.
Yeah, so there you go. The 3 horses is going to win, folks. And then according to the total pace, it's right there third, Charles, although the 6 horse does score a little bit better on the lead. So according to this, 6 gets to the lead, 6 stays on the lead. The 4 tries to run it down, falls a little bit short, and that quadruple 7 horse will come in for third. What you got?
All right. Well, I almost have it like that. Well, I have the 12, which has the same total score as the 3 at the end here. I like the 6. This horse, it's got, well, I think more tactical speed than just speed. The trainer gets 13%, 46 plus days of rest, gets 19% when he goes from maiden to the maiden claiming, which is the biggest drop there is. And look at that. He's dropping into a very low claiming price.
Mm-hmm.
So buyer beware on that horse. But I think that brings that horse probably the speed.
Well, don't they now, with the claiming rules, you don't have to beware anymore as a buyer because, like, if there's something wrong, you can say, I don't want it?
Yes, which I personally don't like.
All right.
I mean, I wish I had that. Guarantee everything I did. The 4 horse is my second choice. Just horse drops in class. Ran an even race last time. The trainer gets 14% overall. So that 4 is going to be really tough. The 12 horse is another one that ran third last time off. But this horse has been off for 55 days. Got some solid work. So let's see what this horse could do. And then that 3, all 7s, ran second last time out. Got some of that tactical speed like we've seen, the tactical speed for closing. So 100% fits with these groups. So let's see what this could do.
And then Christopher, going to go with the 2 horse to win here. ET's Demon Fire. I think that's the first time starter in there with the 2, 4, 8. You might as well throw the 6 in there and the 12 to make it all even. Pick 4 in there. I like the 3 horse, Charles, not because it got quadruple 7s, although now that I see that, I'm even more confident in this one. But this is our good friend, Christopher Parmalu. One of the great things about all the people we come across is you learn a lot from other people. Chris, he likes the horses that come off the maiden, finish second in the last race. This one did finish second in the last race with the top last race speed figure. One of the things I've noticed too is if a horse has like a 4 or 5 point speed advantage over the next closest horse, it's a little bit difficult margin for the other ones to overcome. And he did score that margin of victory in terms of speed figures are concerned the first time the horse tried dirt. Other than that, the first 2 were on grass. So let's see if he can pick it up in race number 2 and be tough to catch. Go East, the 6 horse is a class dropper in here, but it is a money burner. Charles has been the favorite in the last 2. I'm not a big fan of money burners. Number 4, Respirator, another class dropper, does have a little bit of early get up and go. As you can see in the simulator, might actually be the one that's on the lead here today. It showed a little bit better stamina in its last race. And then finally, I'm going to go with the 7 horse. It was a tough call over the 12 for me, Charles, but it is a maiden special weight dropper. I think it's the only pure maiden special weight dropper in that it hasn't tried the claiming levels before and only has 1 race under its belt. So you don't know. Maybe it was frightened in that debut. Going to get first-time Lasix and going to get a 7-pound weight break. So a lot of changes going on for that 7 horse. Maybe the class drop and Lasix could be enough to get the job done. 3, 4, 6, 7 exact trifecta box for me for 50 cents, Charles. The 12 horse was my next pick in there. So I was thinking about that one as well. Next up is race number 7, lucky race number 7, Charles. And it's also the start of the late pick 4. What are they running for here?
Well, they're running 1 mile and 70 yards, claiming price of $25,000. The purse is $34,000. This is for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won a race since, there it is, May the 29th.
Well, yesterday was the 28th, so they moved.
Yeah, it was the 28th. So we're moving in the right direction. So there you go.
All right. So right now, if you haven't done so, kindly hit the subscribe button because we're just a few away from hitting the milestone of 4,000. And they say that only 1 out of 10 people hit the subscribe button. Don't be a loser. Be a winner. Hit the subscribe button. At 1 mile and 70 yards, Charles, for the first time today, what we're looking for are horses with early speed. Again, no surprise at Parx, although you probably don't want to be on the inside, or at least up front on the inside. As we've seen in the first two races, the speed is definitely not held in that part of the track. 30% of the time they go wire to wire. There is a slight rail edge, so Scoop Dog, that one might do a little bit better than its 20-1 odds. You do have 2 through 7 playing fair. In this case, you wear the pink 8 or higher. You might get dinged a little bit, Charles. So we're looking for inside speed in race number 7, but probably don't want to be on the front and on the inside. So, but looking at it, Charles, every horse except for the 2 horse looks like it can get to the front.
There's a lot of speed in this race.
Or a lot of slow horses that are all just about the same, right?
Okay, we'll go with that too. The 4 horse, right now has the best shot at 30% to get at the lead at the quarter pole. The 10, it's got an excellent shot too, with 26%. I see the 10 more of a pressure type though. When it comes to simulation odds, we got that 3. That's probably what, about 2 to 5, 3 to 5.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and then and it's 5 to 1 morning line. So I think we got some nice
value there, maybe.
So yeah, as long as I would take 5 to 1 every day. And that's all we got for overlays.
Just don't say as long as it's on the lead at the quarter pole, you can go get a drink and go to the bathroom.
No,
don't ever do that again.
I will. It's coming up.
Got a ton of. You have what, 1, 2, 3, 4 standouts here. So maybe a nice C-zone trifecta, 4, 5, 6, and 11 could be a nice payout there. Those 4 should get trips that they're very comfortable with. Our pace figures for race number 7 show us the 6 horse in here, Pit Boss, being one that wants to be on the. And we saw this shape yesterday, and that 6 horse did come home to win in the same exact race too, the 7th race. I didn't play him on my top pick today. I did put him in my pick 4 yesterday, only to lose in the next leg. The 11 horse too sitting there, Brett's World. Everybody else kind of wants to be middle back, although the 3, the 5, and the 8 do have some versatility, especially if they're involved early. The 3 horse, It's Game Time, will be involved early, so that's a big number. That's also the one we saw as the simulation big time favorite. The late speed number belongs to the 2 horse, Giordani. But looking at that 68 compared to everything here, that one's going to be way off the lead. I don't know that in this race shape, one that has most of the horses towards the middle and the back, that late speed might not be enough to get it to the front. Maybe 3rd or 4th at the end. We'll see. Total pace belongs to the 3 horse there. It's Game Time. The same horse we saw as the heavy simulated favorite is a 9-point total pace edge over everybody else in there. So it's Game Time, should be Game Time for Game Time, Charles. Probably why we both have it on front.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at my play here as my pick 4, I got a lot of horses in this race. I think it's wide open. I'm going with the 3 as my top choice, though. It has the speed to get out there and go. One last time out, second start after a layoff. You got Pennington aboard. A lot of pluses with that horse. The 5 ran second last time out, drops in class. The jockey overall gets 21%. This horse has got the probably the best tactical speed. The 8 ran second last time also, got some tactical speed, and Ness gets 28% when he puts them in a route race. And then the 10 horse. Now this one, I'm kind of confused. I think that, well, he's got 26%, which I
We
think,
all know that, Charles. You don't have to state the obvious.
yeah, but I'm really confused on this horse because I would like to see him on the front end. I just don't know if he can handle the front end. So maybe he could sit second or third, and Paco is going to have to make that choice. And as we well know, as we've said already, he's hot there at the track. Ran second last time out, but look at my pick 4. I took a lot of horses here. I took 6 horses in this race. But then the next 2 races, single. And then I hit that big old all button for the last race.
Yes, indeed. Big words, all.
All.
I'm going to go with the 3 horse. It's game time as well. Smoked the horses in its last race with the top last race. Speed figure, resume second, race off the edge. The bench should be better than the first one and does have that +9 total pace edge. Again, the 3 horses could have a run of the track later on in the day. 8 horse Loose Goose taking a nice drop in class to a level where he won 2 in a row and also likes the distance. Ran it 3 times, a couple of wins and a close second in there. And again, Jamie Ness, Ruben Silvera. Can never overlook that combo at Bensalem, Pennsylvania. 2, Jardani has some crazy late pace at times, Charles. I mean, big time numbers that are on stakes level. My concern, too far off to get to the win, but could fill in the back end of exactas, trifectas, or superfectas. And then finally, the 7 horse Bird King. This one has been regressing of late, Charles, but clearly has the most back class. Any bounce back, and this horse could make a mockery of this one. I'm going to do pick 4. I like the 3 and the 8 in here, Charles, with the 1, 3, 4, with the 3, 5, with the 3, 7, 9, and 13 in race number 10. We got 3 races to go, Charles. First of those 3 is in race number 7. Christopher D'Souza likes the 2 horse to win with the 5 and the 4 exact the box because he does like those crazy late pace horse numbers. In race number 8, Mr. Charles, we have a one that they're going to do. This is a nice race right here. Allowance 60,000.
Yeah, we got a 6.5 furlongs allowance of 60,000 per 60,000 itself too. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward. That's it. Simple as that.
Pretty easy going right there. Again, 6.5 furlongs. We saw those in the opening 2. Speed did all right in the opening 2. Charles typically does all right anyway. 31% of the time, wire to wire. You do have the post position rail being fair. 2 and 3, a little bit of a bonus. 4 through 7, a penalty. 8 and out is fair. But I don't think we're going to go to 8 and out here, race number 8, Charles. In this allowance race for race number 8, again, most everybody does have some chance to get to the front.
Yeah, there's 3 horses that could get to the front, the 1, 3, and the 7. But the 7 has the highest percentage to get in that lead at the quarter pole, a 35, well, basically 36% chance. And you know what? Probably will get the lead, most likely. But I do see that 3 pushing it and pushing that horse all the way around, and the same thing with the 1. So they should sit 1, 2, 3 pretty much all the way around the track until the end. When it comes to simulation odds, the 3, just what, about 4 to 5?
About 1 to 2, yeah.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah, 1
We
to
got
2, 3 to
2 to 1
5.
morning line. Please give me 2 to 1. Please, please, please. I love that. That's this horse, and I think I'd take 2 to 1 all day long. And yeah, that's a bit when it comes to simulation odds.
Yeah, and then it doesn't look like it's going to get a comfortable trip, though, Bourbon Bay, Bombay. It looks like the 2, the 4, and the 5 could be the ones that are the most comfortable in this start. Looking at the race shape, pretty well balanced in here, Charles. You got the lone closer in here with the 6. You got the lone E with the 7, although the 1 and the 3 will be in that mix. They can pilot or co-pilot. So the only Sesame Street horse in here is junior number 4. So it better have the best late pace numbers as a closer. I don't think it does, Charles. As a matter of fact, I know it doesn't. It's kind of way down the list. So that one could be overmatched in here. As far as that early speed that we talked about early, Olivia Darling should, as the lone E, get to the front. That's where it wants to be. Although Bourbon Bombay, the one you said you really like, kind of tipping your hand a little bit there, should be right off of its tail, and then does have some of the best late pace with Sweet Wilmina. Got a pretty good edge over everybody else in here. Charles, your total pace horse is going to come out to be the 3 horse with the 7 and the 4. Pretty close, though, between those and maybe the 5. I think that 3 horse is the one to beat, Charles, but I do have a few concerns I'll share in a moment. You apparently don't have any.
I have none. Uh, this horse has been perfect. I mean, this horse
So
has
in
done
other words,
everything.
it should be my horse, right?
No, yeah, well, probably so to offset everything that you do. So this horse is perfect, done everything that's been asked. Of course, won all 5 races, has that tactical speed to do whatever. The way the first 2 races looked, maybe this horse should sit second or third. And this is second start after a layoff, and the trainer gets 15% with that angle too. The 7 is my second choice. This horse ran second last time out. Obviously, I think this is going to be your leader. Does have speed. Well bet last time. Paco's aboard the 7, so that makes him very dangerous. The 5 is my third choice. This is another horse I think has some tactical speed. The trainer gets 15% first after a claim. And then the 6 is my final horse here and my price horse. This horse will be closing. Now, the question is it going to be too late to close? But the trainer gets 19% with 46 plus days of rest. So totally fits with this group.
So race number 7 going back. JT Brew with a double, 8-11 with the 2-4 in that race. So I don't have the 4 in here. Jacori with the high C-zone, good chance to get on the, you jinxed me with that yesterday, Christopher D'Souza. So please don't do that again. In here in race number 8, Christopher D'Souza liking the best bet of the day with the number 5 horse to win. 7-5-6 out dancing, best bet of the day. All right, that's going against the grain there for sure with the 3 and the 7 in there. All right, Charles, I said I had some concerns about the 3 horse. The horse is unbeaten in 5, top last race speed figure, but 6-year-old horse, right? So it's not a youngster that's only got 5 runs in it. And it's never in those 5 races made it a second race without spending some time in the barn. It's going to be the first time the horse makes a second start off a layoff. You don't know what it's going to do. There must be a reason why it ran and rested. I got a feeling that one doesn't come out of races without some getting dinged a little bit. I highly doubt, if it hasn't done it in 5 times, that it's not a little bit dinged coming into this race. So buyer beware on that 3 horse. I'm going to go with Sweet Wilmenia as my second choice. I think the 7 might actually be a better horse, but there's a reason why. I think this one's going to be closing late, and if she gets off to a little bit better start, should be able to run down. And I do think Frankie will try to get this horse a little bit closer to the front today in a shorter field. And the reason why I put it in front of the 7 is I do think Olivia Darling will be out towards the front with the 3, like they did in the last race together, but just got smoked in that last half furlong by the 3 horse. I don't see any reason why that horse is going to have more stamina today. I would have been more inclined to pick the 7 here if they had cut back to 6 furlongs. And then I'm going to go with the 1 horse in there. Shero does have the best Parx numbers in this race by a pretty long margin. Hasn't run it to that level in a bit, but if it can run back to that level, could win this race and make it look easy. I might do a trifecta 3-4 with the 3-4-7 with the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 7. So I think
now,
race number.
What you're saying about the 3, with the time off in between, you're correct. I mean, there's something awry, but if it's something super major, like let's say it's a sesamoid problem, they retire a horse. Or if it's a tendon problem, they usually pin fire and rest them for 6 months, bring them back. So this tells me a little bit more of aches and pains. He might have arthritis, might have something like that. So that means they could give him the drugs that you cannot run on, but that gets him back to pure health, and he's good to go. What makes me really like this horse, they don't put him up for sale.
All right. So in race, there's allowance race anyway. Race number 3, they're coming around the turn. The 2 horse is on the lead after 47-1. He's being joined by the 3 horse right now, and the 3 horse is going to run right on by him. So let's see if the 2 horse can hang on for second for my trifecta or not. So the 3 horse is your easy leader, and then the 6 horse Charles might come in here for your exacta box. He is going to come in for second. So Charles got his $5 exacta box. It's going to go 3, 6, 4, and 2. 3, 6, 4, and 2. There you go to have the superfecta. Charlie, you should have did a $5 superfecta box. I'm still alive, I think, in my pick 4, though, right? Yes, because I did the 2 and the 3. All right, so I'm still alive in the pick 4. I would have been happier with the 2 coming home the winner, but I'll take it. Survive, and advance, as they say in the college basketball tournament. So good call there on your exacta box. I bet you're wishing you just went ice cold about now.
Yeah, but that's okay. I don't look back like that.
All right, so let's move on to race number 9. 2 to go, Mr. Charles. I was going to call you Terry there for a minute. Terry won't be back until next Monday. So tomorrow, you and I will be back. We're going to do Saratoga tomorrow. And on Thursday, they're going to open up Kentucky Downs. So we're going to skip on down to your neck of the woods, Charles. And we're going to be joined by a third partner on Thursday. It's going to be our 22-1. Tom loves the turf racing, loves himself some Kentucky Downs. And I guarantee you, Tom will have some bombs in his picks. And you're going to want to tune in for that. Again, just a few short of 4,000. So if you hasn't done so yet, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you don't miss the Saratoga show. You don't miss opening day at Kentucky Downs. Don't miss any of our Horse Center shows, Charles. And we're not going to miss out on race number 9 because you're going to tell us what's going to happen now.
Yes, race number 9, 6.5 furlongs. Optional claiming of 16,000. Non-winners of 1. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won a race other than maiden, claiming, starter, or state bred, which have never won 2 races or claiming price of 16,000.
And I think this person here plays a key role in this race of $55,000, Charles. And I'll talk about that in just a moment. 6.5 furlongs again. Early speed is important. 31% of the time, wire to wire. The rail's fair. So ET's Moon Maiden can be all right. 2-3 actually get a little bit extra energy. They get like a monster drink. 4 through 7 penalized. 8 and out are fair. So we're looking for a little bit of inside speed, Charles, in the race number 9, the first of the late double in there. And Flora de Sombra. Boy, that one's going to be out on the front.
Yeah, the 3, it's a 77% chance of getting the lead and not looking back. Probably that's what's going to happen there. Maybe the 8 might push this horse along, but I don't think she could do that. Mm-hmm. When it comes to simulation odds, the 5, we have, let's go with the 3. 3 just under 2-1. We have 3-1 morning.
And what do you think the odds on the 3 are going to be?
Less than probably 4 to 5, probably.
I'm going to say 3 to 5 or under.
Yeah, I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
The 5, just slightly 2-1, and the morning line's 4-1, and then the 8, 2-1, and you got a morning line of 5-1. Yeah, I think they messed up on that morning line.
Yeah, I think I think you're going to see a lot of money come onto that 3-horse, and there'll be some pretty obvious reasons why. In my opinion, I don't know.
Because look at the conditions when we read it. It's an optional claimer.
Yeah, and we'll talk about why that
those other conditions is why that horse could get in there.
Yes, indeed. So here you have the race shape, and here everybody wants to be middle forward, which could set up nicely for the 9-horse as your lone versatile horse. And here's the PC type. So you got to keep an eye on that one, especially if it has enough early and late energy to be involved throughout the race. Early on, when the gates open, that 3-horse, Flora de Samba, should be the one that's up on the lead there. Charles, the worst behavior could be right in there as well, along with Euphema. They should be the early 3 out of the gates. Late speed, Wicked Sights, along with ET's Moon Maiden, Euphema. That one, the 8-horse in there, Charles, showing up twice. So maybe that 8-horse could pull off the upset in here. As far as your total pace is concerned, Charles, Euphema is your top pick, along with Flora de Samba. You got ET's Moon. Those 3 are a little bit better than everybody else in there. So maybe your winner comes from the 1 to 3 of the 8, with maybe the 8 pulling off the upset. Charles, though we both think the 3-horse is the one to beat.
Yeah. Good
and
luck.
That bettors will think it's the one to beat too.
Yeah, and it's good luck 8. That's all I can say. This is the one that I would go back and say, at this one, if the horse is cruising at the half-mile
there
pole,
you go. There you
go to the restroom.
Jump off of the 3 right now.
Go straight to the bank and start put your money in. It's fine. It's all good.
Don't listen to him.
And this horse is back on the dirt. Drops in class. They add Lasix today. And obviously, this horse has speed, but it can have tactical speed. It doesn't have to go. But I will see this horse out in front, though. The 4 horse is my second choice here. Tactical speed. First, you got to toss out the last race that this horse ran. And then when you do that, it makes this horse right there. Pennington is back on, which is a good sign. The 5 horse, they're adding Lasix today. Ran second last time out. It's got some of that tactical speed. The trainer gets 18% with 46 plus days of rest. And then there's that 8. Well, the horse ran second last time. And then second start after a layoff, the trainer gets 25% with that angle. But the big angle is Paco. And I believe he's definitely 100% an upgrade, in my own opinion, from the last rider.
Well, I mean, the way he wins, I mean, the upgrade over Irad Ortiz if Irad was riding at Parx. The 3 horse Flor de Samba is a class dropper. 5 consecutive non-graded stakes races for purse of at least 100 grand or more, all after winning its debut. Tons of early speed, Charles. First Lasix, which should only accentuate that early speed. So I could put all those together and go, what in the hell is this horse doing in an optional claiming $16,000 race, Charles? Well, first of all, the most important thing I wanted to see is that 3 horse in for a price? The answer to that question is an emphatic no. You see, it would be right here if it were. So, all right. So tell me again, why is this horse running for $16,000? There's your answer. The purse is a nice $55,000. I got to give a big thumbs up to the trainer in here, Guadalupe Presadio, because you know damn right well that's why he entered that horse into this race, Charles. Is that big?
Well, that and no, this horse has been off since March, so this is actually a paid workout. Remember, this horse has been off for 90 days plus, actually. So it's a really nice workout for this horse, and it's paid, nice low conditions. It basically it's a serious drop in class.
You just better hope it's not a tune-up race, right? For something coming up. Number 5, Wicked Sight. All right, so this horse to me is really interesting, and the one I think can beat the 3 horse. So in its debut, won easily, wire to wire, just absolutely destroyed the field. Race number 2, really bad start, finish. Started off that race 8 of 8, 15 lengths off of the lead at the quarter-mile marker. I think it was a 5.5 furlong race, and just missed at the wire. If you look at that reeks of a talented horse to me, Charles. It can spot 15.5 lengths on a 5.5 furlong race and still just miss after going wire to wire in a debut. If this horse gets off to a good start, it might actually beat that 3 horse. Number 7, Paper Mansion, Ness and Silvera. Again, that last race, absolutely terrible, but does have a bullet workout in between. So maybe you're going to get a rebound here, a little bit of indication that the horse will go back to form. And then that 8 horse, Eufema, not a fan of the Penn Shippers at all, Charles. But as you mentioned, as we mentioned all day, you can't ignore a horse that has Paco on board at Parx. $1 double for me, the 3 and the 5. And I'm really hoping that 5 pulls it off, Charles, with the 3, 7, 9, 12, and 13, because I do think the 3 is going to take a ton of money. And maybe the 5 horse won't, but I think it'll be your second favorite in there. All right, last stop of the day on the card is race number 10, another scratch turf race.
Yep, and it was on turf for a mile, but now it's just a mile on the dirt. We got an optional claiming of $25,000. Purse is $35,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never started for $25,000 or less, which have never won 2 races, or claiming price of $25,000 and which have never won 2 races.
Which they put in there once before. So I guess just to make sure you didn't miss it.
Just want to make sure you understood that they have not won 2 races.
Yes. And then with Christopher D'Souza going back, he likes race number 9. He's going to go with the 1 horse over the 4, 3 in the exacta trifecta box. Keep an eye on that 5, Christopher. When I see a horse that has that sort of talent, it can go wire to wire and then just really mess up in that second start. It's a young horse screwing up in the second start, gets itself engaged and almost wins after spotting 15 lengths when it wants to be on the lead, Charles. I think that's pretty amazing to me. All right, in race number 10, as you mentioned, let me pop this up in here because I'll need this in a moment when I put the times down in the description below. At a mile, we don't have any distance or surface numbers on a mile on dirt. So Charles will go straight to our simulations for the final race of the day.
Yeah. Well, here, what would we have here? Really, not much. The 7, most likely, probably will have the lead at the quarter pole. But with all these scratches here, honestly, I don't know. Even the 13 does have speed, and it doesn't show it on this chart. So I'm not going to be surprised to see the 13 out there, believe it or not. But
well, you want the 13 out there based upon your picks, it looks like.
Yeah, and I really don't. I mean, I don't think this chart is, now with all the scratches, the 13 is going to have to change a little bit. So, yeah, nothing on no overlays here, but there was a lot of scratches. So I had to go to Plan B when it came to this race, and that's why I went to all button when I played my pick 4.
Or you can just do the C zone. You got the 5, the 11, and the 13, along with the 12 in there, standouts from C zone. So you put all them together in your C zone, pick 4 trifecta, see how that comes home. The last race of the day, the pace set up pretty balanced, exactly balanced. So in here, basically, you just want the horse that gets the best trip in here, according to that. So you might really want to focus on those C zones. Early speed wise, the 3 and the 9, the 2 P horses. So the 5 and the 13, although you said you thought the 13 could show some speed in there, Charles, actually the second slowest out of the gates, according to recency numbers in there. These two have a 5-point advantage. So I think the 3 and the 9 probably move forward. The 5 and the 13, if they do go to the front, they probably fold as the race moves along. As far as your late speed is concerned, that 9 horse shows up again in there. Charles Flight is the horse with the second best, only 1 point off Divine Wine, the 7 horse, a closer. But the 7 won't be all that far off the pace here either. Our total pace number says the 9 and the 7 are your top 2. Pretty good. The 7, 9, 3, and 13, a little bit better than everybody else. Although the 9 looks like this is the 9 horses race to win, Charles. What do you think?
What do I think? I think this race is literally throw a dart. After all these scratches, it was, to me, it was terrible going to Plan B. But I ended up with the 13 on top. I think it's got that tactical speed. Most likely, I think we'll be on the lead one last time out. And guess who's riding?
Probably Paco. Yeah.
So, I might as well lean towards what's the best out there when it comes to that stuff. The 3 is my second choice. This is another horse that won last time out. Has some tactical speed. Trainer gets 18% with 46 plus days of rest. And then the 12 horse ran second last time out. This one, it will be closing at the end. But the minus against this horse is it's moving up in class. And then the 9 horse ran even last time out. Gets a 7-pound weight break. So that will help its chances a lot. The trainer gets 11% with 46 plus days off. But like I said, on my late pick 4, I just hit the all button and just hoping for the longest shot.
You hit the cheat code. I got the 9 horse Flight. Should be on or near the lead, as we talked about, with some of the best late pace. It can be hard to pass what you cannot catch. And then Divine Wine. Kind of surprised didn't see this one in your picks there, Charles. I know you hit the all button in there. This one is dropping from the NYRA circuit. So it's a track dropper. It's a class dropper. It's also moving down. It's also ran a Z pattern in its last race. So Z pattern, just real quick, in case you're unfamiliar with that. In the 7 horse, you see here the early pace number, 72. The mid pace number, the horse fell to 68. So it went down and then rebounded in the late pace to 79. I don't know why that's a Z pattern, but I guess it's a Z pattern. Looks more like an N pattern to me. But in any case, ran that Z pattern. So I would expect that horse to awaken on the class drop, the track drop, and then the Z pattern to boot. The 3 horse, So Fully Sue. This one got the maiden win last out. That was the first time the horse tried the Parx race course. Has 3 maintenance workouts in between, and 2 of them I would designate as really good. And then finally, your 13 horse in there, Charles, Bruno Barber Girl. Been off since June the 27th. First up record, not so good, Charles, at least not so far. Got the lone win last out at the maiden claiming ranks. $25,000 was the price there. Paco was on that horse for the first time. It won for the first time with Paco. And as you mentioned, Paco for the third time stays on board the 13 horse. Trifecta for me, 379 over the 79 over the 379, 12 and 13 to close out the show today at Parx. Again, tomorrow, Charles, you and I will tackle Saratoga. Let's see, Christopher D'Souza in race number 10 on the 3-horse to win with the 3, 9, 12 exacta tri-box. You add the 3 and 9 together, it equals 12. So there has to be some numerology working for you in your favor there, Christopher. Our total picks for today at Parx look like this. Race number 1, 2, and 3 are in the books, right, Charles?
Yes.
Is that right? All right.
Yes.
So in race number 1, who won race number 1 again, Charles? Man, I can't believe I can't remember that far back. Race number 1, the results were the 4-horse one. That was the one that got to the lead.
Came in 4, 3, 6 in the race 1.
Race number 2, you had the 6-horse come home as your winner. It went 6-1 with that long shot, but the high C-zone score.
And then just look at my picks, and that's how it came in.
Exactly, 3, 6, 4, 2. Yes, he had the ice cold superfecta. I did stay alive on my pick 4 as we move into race number 4. Right now, that 1 horse in race number 4 is your 3 to 5 favorite. So once again, did I single the horse in race? Did I single the one in there? I did. So I need the one to win. I don't need that one to get upset. All right, Charles, any final thoughts before we get up and out of here and come back tomorrow to tackle Saratoga?
No, that's about it. Like I said, on all the other shows, I'm going to the Keeneland sales. So look me up if you're interested or you just got questions. You want to go and check it out, see what it's all about. I'm going to be out there a couple of days, not all the days. That's a lot of days and looking at horses. Mainly book 5, but I'll probably be out there book 3 and 5, one of those 2.
All right. And then again, tomorrow, Charles and I will return. Again, tonight, Jamie and Sean, otherwise known as Shamey, they'll be together with trainer Renee Miles. That'll be on tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. Hit the subscribe button and the button up top, the bell, so you know when we go live. And once again, for the final time, Belterra Park is the free track today at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. There is a link down in the description below. Kindly hit that so they know where it is you came from. All right, Charles, as always, my pleasure to work with you today at Parx. We thank you for joining us as well. Certainly hope that no matter what you're doing on this terrific Trent Trifecta Tuesday, that you have God's favor and God's grace in every single thing that you do. My Howard Cosell voice ends up in the
winner's circle.
Absolutely. Have a fantastic Tuesday, folks. See you tomorrow.